Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's YP Gang, YP Nation, YP Boxing, YBP MMA. And excuse my voice, I'm a little under the weather, but we push it through. I'm just trying to get some videos out for the UFC 307 fight week, of course. Big fight week, whenever Alex Pereira is fighting. But, he has an opponent that, a lot of people don't think really has a chance, and I have to agree with them. In the main event of UFC 307, they're competing for the light heavyweight championship of the world. We got Alex Pereira going up against KHALIL Rountree. And yeah, it writes itself, man. Alex Pereira really shouldn't even be fighting KHALIL Rountree. He should be fighting Magomedov Ankalaev, but it's another fight that made sense. It's all short notice. I guess the brass in the UFC, they didn't really want the Magomedov Ankalaev fight. They say he needs an impressive performance, even though he did knock out Johnny Walker in his last fight. It doesn't really make sense, I'm not going to lie, but that's the guy, that's the rightful contender. That's the guy who honestly gives Alex Pereira a lot of problems on the feet and even on the ground. I think Ankalaev has a better chance to knock it out Alex Pereira than KHALIL Rountree even does. I really don't rate KHALIL Rountree as an opponent. I respect him. I respect his fight style. I respect, his power, all this type of stuff. But as far as like raw striking skill, I think Jamal Hill knocks him out. I think Yuri knocks him out. I think Ryan Spann could flatline him. I really don't rate him as high. I mean, we saw the Dustin Jacoby fight, these type of fights. So it's just this whole notion that, he's like the glory kickboxing killer and all that type of stuff. I feel like even the Anthony Smith fight was close at moments, on the feet. That's what you look for. Obviously there's going to be maybe he might get taken down here and there, which he hasn't. I mean, and that's not something you should really worry about. But on the feet, you want to see those exchanges. Just recently in his last fight, Anthony Smith, he went back and forth with him. So, and then Dawkins, I went over Dawkins. Can't really rate that. What I can say, he's a powerful black man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I can respect that. Will I be cheering for him? Of course. You want to see black excellence in there, but. As far as his chances to win, it's slim to none, man. He doesn't really have a chance. It's fight week propaganda. People are saying he has a chance to win. He doesn't, man. He has a worse chance than Jamal and Yuri did. And the odds suggest that, man. He doesn't have the. People keep saying he's fast. I don't really see the speed when he fights. He seems kind of labored. Not super slow, but he's not faster than Pereira. He doesn't have this crazy athleticism that he can use to his advantage to catch him. If that makes sense. He's going to have to rely on skill, and he doesn't have the dimensions to do that. He's, I think, 3 inches shorter, 3-inch reach disadvantage in this fight. That's not something that Jamal Hill or Yuri had to deal with. Even Yan, those are big individuals. Khalil's small, and he likes fighting on the outside for the most part, so he's going to have to, lunge into range, and that's just perfect for a guy like Pereira to catch him coming on the inside and just punish him with a jab, punish him with the leg kicks. It's just not a good fight for him. The guy refuses to. He says he's still not going to shoot a takedown. I don't know why. I know, obviously, you don't want to change what you've done. You've done something for a very long time. You don't want to. Once you get to the big dance, you don't want to start being a different person. But at the end of the day, you're an MMA fighter. You might as well try some different stuff. I'd love to see Khalil go into the clinch. I'd love to see him put Alex Pereira up against the cage and land elbows off the break. I'd love to see him attempt a takedown, and lay and pray there, because at the end of the day, Pereira's he actually has some solid takedown defense, so I don't even know if Khalil will have any chance, but even just put that thought in his mind, because on the feet, just strictly on the feet, man, it's tough against Pereira. He just needs to find a way to get it on the inside and do something like that, because Khalil's a very strong individual, so is Pereira, but Khalil's very strong. So, but yeah, he doesn't have much of a chance at all, honestly. Even the way he's talking, the strategy that he's coming up with, I find it hard writing a game plan for him that involves just strictly striking. I don't know. I'm waiting on, shout out to MMA Theory. MMA Theory is a huge KHALIL Rountree fan, so I'm going to be seeing what he has to say about the fight. I love when, people write up, these breakdowns for these big underdogs in title fights. How could they win? And Strickland fought Izzy. If anyone's picking Strickland, I'd love to see how I thought that was gonna happen. I remember Dan Hardy made a video for how Nate Diaz could beat Hamza. It's really elaborate because, for as a coach, obviously the outside looking in, but as a coach of these fighters who are huge underdogs, what do you tell them? How do they approach a fight? How are these upsets crafted? Sometimes it's just the odds are not indicative of how the actual fight goes, but a lot of the times they are. They know more than we do. And these odds will flip and they'll go up and down and they'll drastically swing it in a fighter's favor. So they seem to know a lot. So how do you even psychologically, some of these fights just seem like just so tough. Like, well, what is Khalil's? Does Khalil himself believe that he can go out there and strike outstrike him? I don't know if he does. I'm sure. I think for Khalil, I think he's got to go out there and catch it with the shot. He has to get lucky. I was planning on making an edit, a get lucky edit. I don't know if this is the fight week to do. I might just do a whole card, UFC 307 get lucky edit, because that song just been playing in my head. That song's so fire. Yeah, but like I said, man, Alex Pereira is just so much better. I don't know. I thought Jamal Hill would be the one to do it. I didn't make a prediction video at the time, but I thought for sure Jamal Hill would be the one to knock out Alex Pereira. And if Jamal could do it, yeah, I think so highly of Jamal. I don't think anybody else can. And honestly, when Pereira started coming up, yeah, when he did start coming up, you just knew that. I mean, essentially, any guy that's like a prolific striker outside of the octagon, and it's coming over, you just have to assume if it's a pure striking contest, they're gonna have a huge advantage. We did see Pereira in some close fights early on. Bruno Silva, but as the fights as the rounds go on, I see as he grows as an MMA fighter, that skill prevails, and you've seen it, man. In the Strickland fight, brutally knocks him out. Jan Blachowicz, honestly, he was gonna get in touch with the Jan Blachowicz fight, but Jan presented that dual threat of the takedown, and he was able, honestly, to do enough damage. I don't know. I'm still iffy on that decision on who won, but I think that was a pretty close fight. People say, "Oh, Pereira clearly won." It's pretty close. It could have went either way, just like the odds say. But Pereira, what I can say is, damage trumps all. Rule set. He did do a lot of damage throughout the 3-round fight, and I think that was probably the edge. And I think Jan didn't do enough when he was on top. I think that's something that the fighters need to work on, because now it's going to start to actually bite them in the bum. Especially if the striker is doing work on the feet, and then you get a takedown, you don't do anything. You gotta take advantage of those opportunities. But what I can say, Pereira, even if Khalil were to get him to the ground, Pereira does such a good job of controlling range and controlling, the wrists and all that type of stuff. He has good grip strength. He does a good job of just making sure that even if it does get taken down, nothing happens. So maybe not so much in the Jan Blachowicz fight, but because he did get his back taken like early, but later in the fight, like, he was able to just make sure not that much shots were landed. Everything just kind of was at a standstill. Is that what do you call that? It's like there's a name for it in wrestling, but yeah, he's just at a standstill. There wasn't anything happening, so a stalemate. A stalemate is what they call it. But yeah, Alex Pereira should go out there and knock out KHALIL Rountree inside 2 rounds. I would say my official prediction, round 2 knockout. Even round 1. I mean, even like I'm gonna say round 1. I'm gonna even say round 1 because he just doesn't have the skills like the other guys or anything unorthodox about him. He's just a plotty, powerful striker. I don't, he's slow. He's short. He doesn't have the dimensions. He's gonna have to, really. He doesn't have the skill. I don't see the skill when I see. He doesn't pass the eye test for me. Like a guy like, I don't know, like Olberg maybe. Even Rakic, like he also, that's the thing with these title shots, is like Hill didn't really and it's not his fault. Sorry, not Hill. Roundtree didn't really do the work to get here. We didn't see him against a Yuri or a Hill or even a Olberg or Ankalaev or a Rakic. We didn't see him against any of these guys for us to be like, oh, he might have a chance. In these big fights against like elite people, his best win is Anthony Smith. So at least we saw Jamal Hill go 5 rounds with Glover. I think at the time that wasn't even a bad way, because Glover, even though he was 43, that Glover did beat. Or no, I don't know if he beat him, but He went 5 good rounds with Yuri and nearly beat him. Obviously made a mistake there. Got his title shot. Was in Brazil. That's a very good version of Glover. He's an anomaly of an athlete. So I don't think it was a. People say, oh, like Jamal's best win. Jamal has some really good performances prior to that, beating some really good names that Khalil just doesn't have it on his resume. So people talk about the Gokhan Saki. I guess, that's a striker. But that guy's like just don't even look like he should even be in the weight class. And then, I don't know. I really don't know. I just can't see how Khalil could win. I can't. As long as this fight stays on the feet. Pereira's the far better striker, far more powerful. And see, that's the thing too. Pereira can fight on his back foot. Like I'm looking at scenarios where it's like, oh, like Strickland Izzy, because Strickland Izzy, like it. I didn't see that coming at all. I didn't see Strickland having that much success on the feet at all. But in retrospect, I think we overestimated like the pressure because Strickland pushes everybody back. He even pushed Pereira back, but the difference is Pereira can fight off his back foot pretty well, and he has power off his back foot. I think that mixture of power, and he has some solid boxing. He has better boxing than Izzy, for sure. At least in the octagon from what we've seen. So when they fight is a little different, but I'm saying like in their individual matchups, like Pereira can box pretty well, and even outside the cage. What I've seen Izzy box, just looks like he's kickboxing without the kicks. It doesn't look like he's boxing. So yeah, man. I mean, he does a better job of getting pushed back and still being able to fight. So even if Khalil is rushing forward, which I don't think pushing him back and put on the pressure, even if he is doing that, I can't see it deterring Pereira. And he still has power off his back foot. He's still able to generate power when he's up against the wall. So, and when he's about to finish you, he's one of the most nastiest finishers, man. He'll pounce on you for the finish. So that could open up maybe a counter opportunity for Khalil, potentially. Like I said, I mean, I don't want to say he has no chance because people are saying like, oh, you don't think he has a chance? Like, oh, like, dude, like, anything can happen. Like, of course, anything can happen. Like, it's MMA. Crazy theories and things that happen. We've seen wild upsets, but for the most part, I mean, you could write up a better scenario for Pereira. I mean, I even wonder maybe he'll prioritize a sub. I heard Kayla Harrison in an interview with the media. They talking about they have a side bet about her getting a knockout and Pereira getting a sub, something of that sort. So I mean, Pereira might even try to go and take down Khalil. No one would see that coming. I mean, that would be insane. That would be wild though if he did that. And then after Pereira was saying like, "Oh, donate to charity," then you won't shoot a takedown. I mean, but he never said anything about himself, so that's interesting. Well, yeah, I think this would be the perfect fight for him to try something new or show a little new wrinkle in his game, so that hey man, like if I fight a guy like Goliath, it's not just gonna be as easy as just get a takedown. I got some submissions as well. I got some wrestling too. So yeah, but I'm not gonna. I don't think Pereira's gonna go that far. I think he'll just get the knockout in round one. It'll just present itself. I don't even think the fight goes long enough for him to even be thinking that. So yeah, give me Alex Poatan Pereira Chama to get the knockout in round one over KHALIL Rountree. That's all I got for y'all today. Leave a like and subscribe. Peace out, most guard. You know what it is.